felt like, I'm working hard, putting in all these hours, and I was just not getting the income that I thought I should from running my business. And I'm like, there's got to be something. There's got to be another way. There's got to be something I'm doing wrong. And so I stumbled across the book Profit First, and I read that, and it's like a light bulb went off. And I got my bookkeeper to read it. She was excited about it. And I said, we need to do this. And I started actually looking at it. And I said, well, I'm going to see if they have someone that can help us with the implementation. So I contacted Profit First, and they put me in touch with Sabrina. And, it's just been a great experience. I got 4 or 5 key recommendations of areas that we needed to focus on. Chief among those, which I'm sure this is probably the case with 99% of the people that go through it, was reducing operating expenses. And, but through Profit First, you have a system for doing that and a way to do that. And so that's really what I spent a lot of last year doing is cutting expenses and coming up with different targets for each quarter. And of course, with Sabrina, she walks you through the process, holds your hand, helps you to make smart decisions. And then you have your peer group in your small group coaching setting. And the interesting thing about that is all of us are at different points in our journey with Profit First. And our SWAT has each of us on a different timeline for doing things. But if I'm facing a challenge with one issue, someone in that group has going to dealt with that before. And so it's kind of nice to have a group of peers that have done things and kind of tell you good and bad things that they've experienced and help you to make smart decisions as you go through that process. Oh, I would continue to be on that hamster wheel, working harder, trying to do things more intensely, but still getting the same results. Well, number one has to be taking the profit first and sort of reverse engineering the process as opposed to the way that we're taught to do it with the GAAP accounting method. So that would be number one. 2, I think, would be helping me to move, and I'm in the process of doing this, but moving towards working on the business more rather than working in the business. And I think that would be number 2, because that's where quality of life comes from, and you build a business that supports that life.
Okay.
And number 3, so many, I'm trying to narrow it down, Darren. But I think number 3 is one of the things that Sabrina and I just finished talking about, and that's looking at key performance indicators that help me to make sure the business is running properly at a high level, so that hopefully, down the road, what I'm working towards is to be able to pull myself out of the business. And I think, that's one of the key steps going forward to help me achieve that end goal. Initially, I was hoping it would be more of a one-on-one coaching process. I just felt like I would get more out of that, have more hand-holding, I guess, more accountability. And while Sabrina's available and we do have some one-on-one time throughout the year, being in this small group setting, I think, has been more valuable. I know it's been more valuable than I ever thought it would be. And that's been a big surprise to me. And I think one thing, we have a really good group. I think we have a good camaraderie, and we work together well. So that's something. And we've had the participation in our group has been steady. There's been 3 or 4 of us that have been core to the group and know each other well, and we know each other's challenges that we faced, and we see the growth in each other, and we hold one another accountable. And it's been a really good, valuable experience. Now, let me say this too. I think you talked about the investment. It's not for a small business owner, it's not an inexpensive investment. And it's something that, to me, this is probably the one thing that I've done that I feel like I've gotten a really solid return on that investment. So it's something that if there's somebody out there and they're holding their breath thinking, gosh, this is such a huge leap for me. It truly pays off if you're willing to do the work and put the time in.
Now, if I remember correctly, you have had some employees participate in leadership boot camp?
Yes, I sent one of my employees through leadership boot camp. That was real gratifying for me to be able to send her through that process. She has been a key employee for a number of years, just to see how it had a positive impact on her outside of the workplace as well as in the workplace was just kind of gratifying to me. And I think the biggest thing was the people map, and how that I think she saw herself for who she is and personalities, characteristics that she has. But in looking at that, she also saw how other personality types relate to her. And whereas I think she had seen people that either wronged her or judged her unfairly in the past, it was really just their personality type and how they either clashed or how they needed to adjust and work together. That was just sort of a pivotal point, I think, for her.
When I first spoke with you, Todd, and we were talking about getting things going with the SWAT and then group coaching, one of the things we talk about in that conversation is part of the SWAT is to set you up with a game plan for a 1.5 year plan to double or triple your profit. Share with me a little bit about your experience in if you've seen that take place in your business and what that has meant to you in this process.
After the SWAT, we had like you said, the 18-month plan. So 6 quarters of steps to reach the ultimate goal of profitability within the profit first setting. And it seems daunting when you first look at it. It's like, this will never happen. But it's just that systematic process of following your SWOT. And I think, like I say, cutting expenses was a big part of mine. And, and it's just, to me, the key point is changing mindset and looking at that and looking at your numbers in a different way than what we're trained to do. Last year, we cut expenses. Our profitability increased. I took home more personal income than I had previously. And all that has put me in a stronger position this year to really get some traction and really make things happen. So I think it's a cumulative process and not something, it's not a magic pill. It's something that takes place over time. It takes place with consistent effort, and you've got to put that work in, and you've got to be willing to do that. And you've got to be willing to confront old belief patterns, old ways of doing things, and make changes. And when you do that, you're going to see results. Sabrina is really incredible, and she has a great skill in guiding conversations and getting to the heart of the matter you're discussing. And she also has a very inquisitive mind. So she's I consider her part of the group, not just a leader, because she wants to hear our experiences and for us to share our experiences with the group and with her. I have to say, this is a tremendous program, but it's not a magic pill. You've got to work, you've got to participate, you've got to carry your part of the load, and you're going to see results, and it's going to be transformative if you do that.